just edit out.
I mean, we just want it to be like a little hangout sesh, just talking shit.
Friends around a microphone, you know.
Now it feels like we're on stage.
Welcome to episode 216. Me and my friends have good banter.
Oh yeah, we're just like every other
podcast.
Middle 20-year-old, late 20-year-old starting a podcast.
I just want to escape the 9 to 5 slavery.
He's getting right into it.
Well, that's why I'm doing this. I need a Hail Mary here.
I know, dude. I'm fucking tired of it too. But remote's the way to go if you can get remote. I know this guy's the best job fucking ever, though.
No, we don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're trying to get out of it now?
Yeah.
No, I'm not trying to get out of it. Just trying to.
Dude, he was
have
telling
more
me.
Responsibility.
How much do you work in a week? Like, what's you think of actual work?
Actual hours.
Yeah.
Like hours, I'm actually using my brain, working, trying to solve problems.
The whole week, yeah.
Mitchell, 10 hours, bro.
10 hours?
I do that.
Oh,
driving around. That's probably.
Where's that light?
I could use a pouch if y'all got any.
It's in that bag.
Gotta get the brain popping a little bit. Thanks for everybody coming down to our podcast. This is our first one.
Is it recording?
No, yeah, I think it. Yeah, it's definitely recorded.
Tell me if this helps with the. Does that help? Or
It's blinding my fucking eyes. I guess so.
I can turn it down. Right?
I mean, it's fine. Yeah, you could. That could be cool. I mean, it's kind of a spotlight though.
I'm trying to turn it down.
I'm seeing those things when you look at a bright light and then you start blinking, you see the reflection of the bright light.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting right now.
I'm getting that right now.
I'm having a seizure, I think.
What, is that better?
That's a little better.
Is it affecting the camera at all?
Oh shit!
I can't even look because my eyes are blind.
Oh my god, you puss.
It works. It's fine. I can see everything. It looks good. It's a good lighting. You got a cool little, whatever fucking Christmas tree back here. Whatever the fuck you got going on. But dude, I mean, how would an economy even be good if you don't work 9 to 5? If everybody wasn't a slave 9 to 5, wouldn't everything cost more? Wouldn't everything just
everything
be
already costs
shit? What new inventions wouldn't pop out? New movies wouldn't come out? No, like I don't know. New inventions, new iPhones.
I don't know. I feel like some industries, 9 to 5s are in the duration. It's very duration based because you kind of have to solve problem like Dale's. Dale's, unfortunately, I know he fucking hates his job, but I mean, shit in his industry,
my bosses could be listening.
Yeah, I mean, shit happens all the time, and problems require time sensitive solutions.
Yeah, you need to be on top of it all the time
And
to keep the business model rolling.
But at the same time, there's also a ton of other industries and shit like that where that's not the case. And technology has automated a lot of things, and it should be easier. It should be easier. That's what technology exists to make humans' lives easier.
Exactly. What happens when everything's automated? They're even building houses with automation. Every car is automated, and then even fast food. You walk to a McDonald's, you click a button, and there's a machine, literally. I don't know why it's doing that. Making all the burgers, all the fucking fries. It's just
what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen to the labor force?
Yeah, what are they gonna do?
I don't know. It's a crisis. It's been a crisis. It's starting to come to a head.
Because if you figure that out, at a fast food place, you can have 2 or 3 guys come in there weekly just to maintenance shit around, move some robots
There's nothing
around.
to figure out. They know how to do it. They're just for humanitarian reasons, holding off.
Yeah, I don't know if we're ready yet.
But yeah.
I feel like the demand for different types of labor increases, and increases in other.
You would have to get more tech people, though, right?
Yeah, it'd have to be more coding, more tech, more
Then they can just up the training,
stuff like that. I mean, you gotta think there's guys making a really, really good living, and I know someone that does this, personally, that he works in tech ops for Delta, and he's been able to more than raise a family of. I mean, it's Garrett's family. I know he's not going to use names, but yeah, his dad's he works a lot of overtime because it's just that's another industry that a lot of stuff can happen with aircraft and whatnot, and there's got to be someone there at all times to fix the problem.
But they would have to train this force of people that would have to. Some people just don't. They did this study in India, I think. I can't remember where exactly it was, but they did this thing where they asked this group of people. They're just regular Indian people living in a village. They went to test them on a labor study or some kind, and they're like, all right, you get two options. You can either dig a ditch for like a certain amount of money, like for like a certain amount of days, or you have to write like you have to research something. You have to write a paper. Like it was like 20 pages long of a paper. 90% of the people rather would have dug the ditch than actually did like grinding and using their brain to like put things together, put complex issues, have an argument on something. So a lot of people are just like, just let me fucking move the wood. Let me move the fucking concrete over to this, like something that's super just repetitive and easy, but it's not
brainless.
Brainless shit. And a lot of people would rather, do something that's a lot, I guess.
I would like to
monotonous,
see the sample side. Yeah, I'd like to see the sample.
I gotta find it, dude. It was a while ago. I remember being like very like, what the fuck is this?
Jamie, pull that up.
Yeah, Jamie, pull that up. We need a pawpaw.
See, we need pawpaw to
get
hear
on that shit.
Dude, I've always wondered about.
I probably fucked that study up.
Have y'all ever thought about how much more efficient? How much more efficient, everything in the world would be if we didn't pay based on like by the hour, and instead of paying by the hour, you pay by the task.
You pay by the task, like the exact thing done in that moment. They're like, you did a good job. Here's 20 bucks.
And that could be done. I mean, you could apply that to like say with the ditch scenario. Like, okay, we can pay you guys $10 an hour to dig this ditch that's these dimensions, or we can pay you
$10 a ditch.
We'll pay you $1,500 to dig this ditch.
Oh damn!
No matter how long it takes you.
That's the
because you would like, I gotta get this task fucking done. Yeah,
that's the whole.
Figure out ways to make this easier.
That would motivate.
It would streamline everything.
Yeah,
I'm gonna figure out ways.
Well, that's the whole paradigm about like road construction. You hear that used as like an example. It's like, let's say we're building a bridge and we're gonna pay you, or like when they were building the railroads, they were like, for every mile we'll pay you per mile, and so they were just like making it longer on purpose so they could
really
get more money. And then when they were like, okay, we're gonna switch it to hourly, then they were just dragging ass, taking forever to do it, just milking everything they can. So
it's kind of happening now with a lot of tech places. You ever seen Office Space?
No, dude.
You gotta see. Have you seen Office Space? Oh my god, it's a class. We gotta sit down and watch it.
What's it on?
I'm on it a little bit. It's just a movie, like a cult classic movie. It's
on a streaming platform.
I think it's on Netflix. Last time I checked, I think so. Yeah, it's really good. It's basically this guy works in a cubicle, and it talks about the 9-to-5 like slave job. And there's like a scene where he acts. He talks to the boss. He's like, I actually only put about 15 minutes of actual work each day.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just stare off and look at my screen and not do shit. And the whole movie's pretty great. I'm going to tell you the premise, but I'm not going to tell you what happens. But he's basically, his girlfriend takes him to therapy, and he gets hypnotized by the therapist. And when he's getting hypnotized, the therapist has a heart attack. And he puts him in this hypnosis where he's like totally zen. He's just like perfectly chill, and he's like super just does whatever the fuck he is. The next day, his girlfriend calls him freaking out and saying, "I was cheating on you the whole time, blah blah, you motherfucker." And he was like, he just didn't care. He got up. He's like, He took his time getting up. His boss was calling him. He was late for work. He's like, I was gonna go fishing. He just goes fishing, and then he comes to work like 5 hours late, and he's like in flip flops, and he just It's really good. You gotta see it. And it's like, and he starts getting promoted and moving up in life because he's like a lot more chill instead of like hustling the 9-to-5, which sucks. Have y'all seen the Zeitgeist movement? Ever heard of that?
Mm-mm.
It's about this. It's a documentary about a futuristic kind of government setup, and they talk about automation. Like where robots do everything, and it's like they're a little bit communist because their idea is that it's all resource based economy, so there's no trading. It's just wherever this city is, it takes up all the resources from that area. So whatever resource you got there, you're going to use it.
Mm-hmm.
And the cities are set up in like circles. Like the very center is like the resource spot where like you would go and get anything you'd want. Like if you need a chair, you need some, you want steak or whatever. But it would all have to come from this. It would be in a perfect spot to like grow food, have machines making all the necessary things you need, but you didn't really own anything, which was like you would have to return it. So it's like very like a futuristic communist kind of idea, which is kind of
scary, honestly.
Yeah, because like my idea is like, how are you going to innovate? How are you going to get people there's going to be lazy fucks at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, and if nobody has any personal like property, I feel like the motivation to like climb and innovate and do better and hustle is just going to be.
Where's the reward?
Right, and like, your sense of pride like kind of comes from like what you own. That's why like, I feel like most governments would prefer their citizens to rent because
we were talking about it yesterday. I was talking about how like renting now, like when you look at like apartment complexes, it's like stylish now. It's like the cool thing to do. Like houses are so like not happening for our generation, so they like amp up these apartment complexes to look all fucking like, ooh, we got a pool, we got a game room, look at us having fun, fucking doing shit. They got pictures of people doing stuff, but I don't know how they're going to do that system, because their idea of what motivated people was saying people will just naturally want to do something that they're creative. They want to they'll actually pursue what they want to pursue because they have all the resources. There's somewhere in the middle where I want to meet, because we do have to fight for having to pay rent, having to fucking put food on the table, and then we work 9 to 5 and we're tired. We just eat dinner or go to the gym or whatever, and you're just like, I don't have time to do any like passion projects.
Right.
So like, if you had all the resources you needed, like you had a place to live, you had all the food you needed, what the fuck would you do? What would you specifically do as a person? I think a lot of people would like to probably do drugs and sit around and play video games and not do shit and fuck off.
Absolutely.
So that's, I mean,
well, it's like you said, they keep us just comfortable enough.
Yeah.
To where nobody wants to like
no one freaks out a little bit.
Nobody actually wants to do anything about it, and I feel like monetarily they just have it to where your paycheck is eaten by your bills. They've like, I feel like in a way
it's all set up.
It's calculated to you work to live.
Rent goes up if salary goes up a little bit. Everything's just so like meticulously planned. Food goes up a little bit just to keep you in this like a nice little. Okay, I have enough to. I can get a cheeseburger when I want to. I can order pizza after a long day's work. And you can sit there. I can drink some alcohol and not do shit.
I can just watch Netflix or be on TikTok for hours.
Yeah,
or like,
you're perfectly just like.
Oh yeah, they keep you comfortable and
just
distracted.
enough to where you're not gonna rally up some people and go fucking take down like a bank or some shit.
I'm ready. Let's do it, bro.
But I mean, it's like we're so hypnotized, because when you think of like what life is, like shouldn't you just exist and do what you want to fucking do? I hate having to getting up and having to go work for somebody. And then there's the idea of like, well, go be an entrepreneur. Go and start your own business. Stop complaining. Yeah. And it's like, easier said and fucking done, dude.
As soon as you start gaining some traction, you're just going to get bought out by fucking Amazon or like whatever field you're in, the top dog. They're just going to like either price you out and drive you out or buy you out.
But also, everything doesn't have to be a monetary gain. We were like so in a... I'm sounding super hippie, but it's like...
we sound like some fucking...
I know, and
like entitled socialist hippie.
I know it sounds like that, but I'm talking about...
and just kind of...
Yeah, but I just like... I'm thinking of on like a natural, primitive state. Like you're on this planet, you're living in this miracle of existence, just doing you, and you have to go and do something that you necessarily don't want to do.
Yeah.
Like you might love your job. Like I love doing my career and all that. But it's still like, oh man, I gotta get up at this time. Oh, you want me this long? Oh, I gotta go to this meeting. It's like
the whistle blows to start, the whistle blows to end kind of shit. And then you have what's left of your day, a couple hours in the evening to yourself, and then you go to the gym and cook dinner, and it's time for work tomorrow.
But the thing is, man, this is the best system that works. What else would be?
No, it is. It is.
You can't do communism. This doesn't work. No, and you gotta have some kind of...
Capitalism is definitely not perfect, but I think...
It's not perfect, but it works.
Been evidenced to be the best.
I mean, look at all the shit that's been created since it started popping off. Since like the 18... when you mix the scientific method, when they figured out how to like do, hypothesis, theory, test it and all that shit, like actually having people... We started making bigger discoveries of stuff. And they were able to create better machines and like things that are more calculated and more efficient products were being made. And then, obviously, once we found oil, and then we were just able to power all these different machines, and everything's just so perfectly calculated, and everyone's paid a certain amount to do it, and we're innovating like fuck. Like we get a new something every damn year. You get in the top model phone, the top model cars, top model video games, different shit coming out. It's like everything's going great.
Right. Yeah. What were we talking about at Chandler's? Goddamn, there we go, saying names again.
It's
at the table, and I said let's save it for the pod. Well, it was a good topic.
We were talking about, I think, like dating. Like we were talking about how
that's a can of worms.
Dating apps are going to.
Yeah.
I think we're so. It's
there was
where it's naturally going.
There was something before that.
I'm trying to say that so I remember where it linked, but we were talking about how it's all naturally going in that direction.
We were talking. I don't really want to jump to this. We were talking about. We started with Kanye and his Hitler comment, and then shifted into how he was able to, convince the populace through like censorship and education and because sensationalism and how we've seen it. And I said,
there definitely is propaganda all over, but at least you can hear everyone's voice to a degree. I know they're trying to silence a lot of people. We know cancel. That's why there's a lot of backlash on that. And with Twitter and Elon, that's a huge movement right now because he's kind of like this beacon of free speech right now to a lot of people.
He's like the first glimpse of an example of someone pushing back. And it's crazy that it took like a multi-billionaire to be able to do it.
He is more looked up upon than Biden, our actual president.
Oh yeah.
Even Joe Rogan.
Oh yeah.
They're not just.
Rogan has a huge following.
I would argue more people will take his. I am like positive people will take his opinion higher. Not even Rogan, just other comedians, just like even like Theo Vaughn talking, even like Tom Segura, or just even like just smaller figures have way more of a voice and influence than Biden talking.
Getting up there mumbling and
which
shit.
is crazy.
Well, we don't ever get to see Biden talk, which is like.
I think he really does. I mean, he has to have some kind of like seeing when you catch him on camera.
Yeah, it's
shit,
so
man,
obvious.
It's just. But they wanted that political power in there. There's a lot of people.
They wanted someone who they could just
puppeteer around.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, aren't they all kind of puppet? I mean, even Trump's probably a puppet. He was just a loud puppet. I mean,
who was he a puppet to? You think?
I don't know. I just think there's like an underground like fucking.
Oh, there definitely
organizations that are definitely more in tune with what the fuck's going on. Because the president can't keep his mind on the whole economy. He can't keep his head like all the foreign affairs and.
Did you hear what Putin said when Trump got elected?
You were telling
someone asked Putin like what he thought about like Trump getting elected, and he was like, "Well, I think Trump's got some some really good ideas, and I think that was a good move like for their part, but like he's not going to be able to do hardly any of the stuff that he wants to do."
Yeah,
because. Like
we just have a lot of check and balances.
He was like I think his exact words. We would have to look this up. I think it was like when the men in the black cars show up to tell him how shit is ran.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That's who's really in like pulling the strings here. It's not like Putin said that. Yeah. So there is definitely like this court of owls type.
Because when Putin says something, they're fucking working on it. They're doing it. There's no voting.
Oh, there's no one. Yeah.
Like arguments of different parties. It's like nah. See, that's the good and bad side of totalitarianism and authoritarianism, autocracies. They have a guy. If you have like a, usually they're not, but if you have like if you could just have like a perfectly good, really intelligent emperor things would go so fast.
Yeah.
But it never goes that way because they're gonna die, and then someone wants power, and then there's all these fucking civil wars and people freaking out. Because I mean, you can see that throughout history. Like when you look at old Chinese dynasties, they would have like certain leaders that would go in and do such an awesome job. And they'd be like, "Oh, if he did such a good job, his son should do a good job. He's the new
Feudalism,
king."
right?
But that's the thing that fucks it up, because usually the person who takes over and does a great job, not all the time. Fucking do a Kanye over here, but the son or like the kids are not as disciplined or have the same mindset as the person who actually conquered it. They've been chilling. Getting all the food they wanted, getting all the hookers, and just chilling. And then he's like, "All right, Daddy's dead.
Opium.
Yeah, I'm the fucking guy that's gonna rule now." And then you get these crazy motherfuckers that take over and don't So you got to have some kind of voting system. So the United States is definitely like the best country ever created. I think for sure. When you just look at how much we culturally have done.
Right.
And we've only existed for like 200 plus years. We haven't been here that long.
Yeah. No.
Rome lasted for thousands, like a thousand.
The rest of the world got like a huge head start. I
Yeah.
mean, give or take. I mean, there's countries that are exceptions to that, but yeah, it's crazy. I told you about what my Uber driver was telling me about because he was from Nicaragua
Nigeria.
Nigeria. Yeah. He was like just telling me about, especially a lot of these smaller countries, underdeveloped countries, how it's just like this beacon of just kind of hope and everyone has their eye on the U.S. and what they're going to do and how they're going to respond, like all around the world. He was like, you don't understand the magnitude of the role that the U.S. plays, like in just the global.
Oh yeah, we're
like,
running
landscape.
so much shit. Even when you go to Europe, Mitchell, you're gonna see tons of just American influence, like the music they listen to. Like you could see like the brands and stuff. It's wild. All the food.
Yeah, and tons of titties.
But there's definitely like a westernized style that you'll see all across like Europe, and then same shit you'll see in like America. But yeah, it is wild how we do spread so much, and that's why you got China trying to pull us back because they're like the opposite, kind of against the Western idea. You saw the TikTok thing, what they do, like what do they give to their people, like what they showcase.
Oh yeah,
I've seen a lot of videos about this. Pretty interesting. They show that like kids like I think I sent it to you. They did a study and they showed like they tested like UK and like America. They asked like some 12-year-olds what they want to be when they grow up, and they asked like the Chinese what they want to be grow up. Number one thing for Chinese was astronaut. Number one thing for America was fucking YouTube vlogger.
Yeah,
video game
OnlyFans,
OnlyFans shit. Theirs was like scientist, engineer, fucking, and they show that on their social medias. They're showing people getting trophies, doing athletic achievements, fucking studying, doing like science projects and shit. Yeah. And we're just getting like
bad baby, and
like,
girls
fucking,
dancing and shit.
Yeah, just people doing stupid shit.
It's crazy what a death grip they have over our media, and how they have such a hand on what we see and control. What we consume.
Is it even a death grip, or is it just totally just free of like, let's just see what is popular and see what people naturally like, and then people just naturally things pop up, and we're just like,
I mean, maybe, but I mean they've been like trying to overtake our culture for like decades now. So I think they're
trying to spoil us. I think
the preferences have kind of been molded by all of that too. So,
but the thing is, you will find stuff like you would if you're looking up, I don't know, astronomy. You want to learn about planets and like supernovas and shit. Your feed is gonna pop up with fucking NASA stars and shit.
Well, I'm not.
Just people are so geared to looking at tits and ass, or looking at like people gossiping about shit, or look at what I bought at Target, and they do a little dance or something,
Well, I wasn't talking so much about like TikTok algorithm,
or just
I was just
Instagram
talking about
too. All the algorithms, yeah.
Well, I was talking about just like in terms of like our celebrities, our news sources, like
all the bots and shit, like the Russian bots and the Chinese bots that they find influence.
I don't know. I feel like they own a lot of our celebrities and role models. I feel like they control a lot of social media algorithms. I feel like they control a lot of big media, mainstream media corporations. And
what do you know about that? Do they actually control any kind? I know they. What's the Dennis Rodman thing? That was weird. I remember John Cena also like apologizing.
Yeah, John Cena and Dennis Rodman. I mean, those were just like recent examples. But so that's what I think.
The NBA's bought by like they like.
Yeah, I mean, it's
all about money though, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of these celebrities are just kind of owned to either like the Illuminati or like some Chinese influencer or like George Soros or something like that. And that's what Kanye was always talking about before his most recent comment, and that's why he was like, they're trying to control me. They control Kim. They control Ellen DeGeneres. They control fucking Tom Hanks. They control John Cena. They control The Rock. They control Kevin Hart. But they can't control me. And so that was like the hoorah from him that I kind of liked. And then when he started I don't know. You know,
is it because they conform to what the Chinese want of them, so they can sell their product in China? Like,
I think
Marvel did something.
I don't know. I think China just wants to divide the populace.
Oh,
I think that, I mean, it's Sun Tzu, the art of war. Divide them from within, and they'll destroy themselves. You only have to. I think it's like this, almost this like kind of psyop warfare that they've been doing and building on for decades now.
Yeah.
And I think now that they have control over a lot of social media, and you know, you have like kind of weak-minded people that go along and push their narrative, and you have the people pushing back. I think they're
definitely doing some shit for sure.
They're divided. I mean, we've never been this divided.
I know, we're so fucking divided. But you can also, the internet is just like, everyone has a voice now, and it's just like, the radicals are just, that's what gets the clickbait. Like, I like, think about it. I mean, it's fun to watch, but when you like go on when you go on like Twitter, you'll see libs of TikTok. It's fun. They show the craziest, wackiest motherfuckers, and it's clickbaitable, and everyone thinks if you're leaning, you're a pronoun loving fucking cancel hate comedy motherfucker. You give them all these labels.
Yeah.
Antifa. Or if you're on the other side, they give you the whole
Nazi right wing,
fucking you racist motherfucker. You know, so it's like it's goofy.
It is.
But China, I think they're cracking within slowly though. Didn't they have huge debates? They have protests.
I mean, they have
about COVID.
Yeah,
recently.
they have
their first time they ever like stood up to the government.
They have issues of their own, obviously, but the biggest one being is their population crisis. Even though they currently have like 1 billion people, like it's looking like it's set to precipitously collapse.
I feel like they're gonna have to crack at some point. There's just too many motherfuckers, and they're drying up like crazy. Have you heard about the droughts there? They're like fucking. They're not doing well.
No, I haven't heard that.
I mean, they're making quick, easy money. The thing is, they still have tons of coal plants.
Oh yeah, commodities. They're a commodity.
They're making things quick. They're paying slaves and shit.
Yeah, and then you look at something even like the iPhone, like that's still, it still can be. It's very repetitive, like the way they're built. So, yeah, that's an innovative product, but
yeah,
you know, I feel like they focus heavily on commodities. But even when they do have something, that's how it gets mass produced, because they find a way to make it repetitive, and then they're using slave labor. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah, and they're polluting the fuck out of their place.
Oh
dude.
yeah,
they have like
the ocean.
Oh my god, they look at America. We think we're like huge contribution to.
Right.
Yeah, we do pollute, but like what?
China and
like
India
3% to the whole thing. China and like India and like all the Indonesia area.
Oh yeah,
they're just fucking throwing sewage in there. There's raw sewage. They have no waste management system going on.
Well, they got too many people. There's nowhere to put the shit.
When I was in Thailand, dude, they had no fucking trash cans. There's just no trash cans. People were just throwing trash all over the fucking place. There was just no system in place to clean up after themselves. Yeah. And then you go to like India, they're dumping like bodies in the fucking water. They're shitting. And
in the street, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. People are just dying from dysentery? Yeah.
Yeah.
And like people are not living long, especially if you're in a rural, poor area. But if you got money, you probably could live in an area but the smog is still bad. You can barely breathe in some of these cities. It's like there's like, I think you smoke like 10 cigarette packets a day in some of these towns.
What?
That's the equivalent of the bad air. I was watching this one thing in India. Was it Delhi? What's the capital? Delhi?
Wait. Oh, the capital? I thought you were trying to say Dolly.
No, it starts with a D. I'm fucking blanking on it. But they had this office building. It was like a nice place. It was like an embassy building for some like American students, I think. And they were showing the air filter they had. They're like, we have to change this like every other like couple hours. And
oh my god!
Black with soot.
So this is mostly a demo, right?
It is a demo, yeah. But if anything, we could just cut out like any like.
Good say someone's name or like.
Yeah, that's fine. We're learning. It's just all bullshit talking anyway. But
you just got to start somewhere, Mitchell.
I feel you, bro. Can I see that binky?
No, bro.
Let me see that binky, bro.
Well, I think that was a good little session.
This motherfucker.
Or do you want to keep going? How much we got?
I mean, I say we keep going.
You want to keep going? We got 30 minutes in. That's not too bad. I just got to get going to bed soon. I got to drive 30 minutes back. Yeah, we keep going for a little bit. Not too bad.
Why don't we try to make it go something a little more lighthearted here?
Okay.
The problem, well, I mean...
I'm just flowing.
Just a little, yeah.
What do you mean lighthearted? You wanna start practicing?
I'll just figure we'd try out different topics and stuff.
I wish we had like a wheel. We're like, all right, spin
Here's a
the
good
wheel,
topic. Here's a good
Papa.
topic. The rise of content creators and their like growing relevance in society. Like Mr. Beast is about to become the first billionaire content creator.
Yeah.
Billionaire.
Holy shit.
Someone offered him
He's not even the highest paid.
$150 million
Well, yeah.
for 10% of his business.
How
Which
much?
Effectively,
God.
10% of his business for $150 million.
Oh, I'm glad.
But
he
he's
said
like,
that.
no, I don't want it because I want full retention of like what this business is and what I want the contribution to society to be.
Yeah,
And I
good
don't know
for him.
if you like watch Mr. Beast or whatever.
Yeah, I've seen stuff.
Awesome guy, man. Like literally just a awkward kid from North Carolina.
Did you see how he
Crohn's
started
disease.
off? Like he was
Yeah.
so obsessed with like the algorithms of
Yeah.
how to set up. Like how should I put my face in the camera? Where should I edit
What's
to
my
keep their
thumbnail
attention?
supposed to look like?
Yeah, he
He
treated.
studied the algorithm.
Oh, dude, since he was like a kid, he's been just like every
Oh,
little
shit.
nitpick. He's been obsessed. He's not even obsessed with like the actual content at first. I think he was just more obsessed with like just trying to go viral, and his idea of just using tons of money, giving it away, and just constantly circulating it and doing something bigger and bigger. It is wild, and that's why tons of people in America want to be a fucking content creator. That's like the big thing to. I mean, look what the fuck we're doing. Like we bought into this idea.
Did you hear Gary Vee talking about this? He was like talking about the reason these companies like are having a hard time hiring young people to come work for you for 45, 50, 55K is because they can make that like so much easier, like selling shit on eBay or being a
You're
content.
having somewhat of a
yeah.
platform. It not even like to make $45,000 a year. I mean, what is that? A couple, maybe like 30, 40,000 followers. And you can make that off brand sponsorships and all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it doesn't even require a ton of like you don't need 200, 300, 400,000 followers to make like a decent living.
But it is hard to get the followers, though, right?
It is hard.
Yeah,
But it's
that's-
exponential growth.
Oh yeah, no, it's
exponential growth.
If it were easy, everyone would do it, but everyone is trying to do it, and that's why it's becoming kind of crowded. That's why we're gonna have to make it like.
Oh,
You gotta have a
yeah.
niche. You gotta have
Well,
something that makes.
yeah, we
it
do,
different.
but we're gonna
Makes it
also
unique.
have to kind of, I don't know, include every aspect, like humor.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, not every podcast ain't gonna be like goofing off on it. Like we'll have some where we're fucking we're talking shit, just depending on. This is we're just after fucking working out and
we're
eating tons of
spitballing.
food. Yeah,
We're
just
spitballing.
talking shit. It's just let it flow. That's the best way. If you're gonna force something to be like, oh, we're gonna be funny this podcast, it's like that's gonna be hard to just like turn that switch.
I would no, I see. I completely agree. I was just spitballing, kind of. We're just trial runs.
Yeah,
like,
and I think when we get certain guests, or if we do have guests eventually, hopefully,
we'll get Morgan on the pod for you guys.
just have a different idiots come on talking shit.
Dude, yeah. We need to get a mirror on this motherfucker.
Yeah, like I just want to interview I just want to just dive deep and just see what happens. I also just want to work on it. Like right now, yeah, we got the fucking laptop, camera, we got a new little mic, but eventually we'll get a backdrop.
Yeah.
We'll have some cool shit in the background. Get a better camera, better fucking lighting, and it's fun to like grow it.
Right.
I think every time we do one, we should be like, all right, what are we gonna do different this time to make it a little better? You know?
Right.
Well, what's the next step?
We will make strides like we do in everything else.
I would like if we both had laptops and we had like a TV in the background of some kind, where if
Yeah.
we wanted to Google something, it would pop up,
Mhm.
and you could like show like, oh yeah, look at this fucking graph,
Right.
look at this shit right here.
Well, that's why if we had Devin, we could get it to where it just pops up like on their screen.
Yeah,
You know, look at this. And
that'll be dope. Yeah,
We just gotta play around with it, figure it out. This is
yeah,
literally rough draft number one.
yeah, we're new to it. And then think about a lot of the successful podcasts. Some podcasts don't even film themselves really. I think it's just the audio, and they're fucking huge.
Some
They
of them.
just talk shit.
I just think if the Nelk boys can do it, I can fucking.
Didn't they start off doing pranks? Like, what the fuck?
Yes.
How are they interviewing the president, the former president, and talking to all these? Did you see that interview?
Yeah, the Trump interview.
I wish they asked better questions. I feel like
That's what I'm saying. I was just kind of like,
who let these guys like at least let an adult sit in there and like
yeah, these are like little
monitor it.
kids. Like, yeah.
No, it was kind of cool though that they like Trump agreed to do that.
Did you see how many views and listens that shit got? Like as soon as it got posted,
That was the first like mainstream podcast he did that someone let him on and do.
it's crazy, dude. Because I mean, Yeah, that's our fucking president. What podcast wouldn't want to have him?
Rogan didn't want him on. Which
That's
is crazy.
insane. Well, Rogan already has the following, but like,
oh yeah, but just he was worried about creating. He didn't want to be responsible for such a huge influence because he knew. But I would like to see them cut the shit. I just want to. Every president should be required to sit down for like. I want to hear you talk for 3 hours.
they do like 60 minutes and stuff.
Really? They do. Oh, like 60 seconds.
60 minutes, like the docu-series on cable TV.
A couple of those, yeah.
60 minutes tonight.
Yeah, but that's all edited and cut
Yeah,
up.
I know.
I want to see like straight up.
Just go ahead and say you want to see Rogan interview the president.
I want to see them interview everybody. I want to. They should do podcasts once a week with somebody. I feel just to talk it out, just to hear what the fuck's going on. What are you working on? What are you doing? That'd be some transparency right there.
Mm-hmm.
But you'd risk too much shit talking because you want to have this kind of banner over all these world leaders that's kind of simple. Like, this is what I stand for.
Right.
I say this and that. And the politicians, at the end of the day, they just talk, wanting to like bro out and because like I think Obama was interviewed. Or he interviewed Bernie Sanders.
Obama did?
No, I'm thinking
Rogan
of,
did. Yeah, Rogan.
Who had interviewed Obama? That was fucking Mark Maron. But you could tell they're like very scripted. Like, ask this question, and they say that, and it's kind of like, but
just a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, it is what it is. But the thing is, the podcasting it's a crazy phenomenon because you didn't really. This wasn't a media that you just heard back like 10 years ago, or even like 15 now. Like you were just watching TV. There's commercial breaks. You would watch a show or like a movie, everything, or the talk show hosts that you would actually see interviews. They're so spliced up. They're so like scripted of like, ooh, here's a little joke. Oh, now it's time to play a game. Da-da-da.
Yeah.
This was like the first media of like, oh, this is who that person
like
actually is.
More organic.
Yeah. What the fuck? What are you gonna say to that question? Oh, no commercial break now. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
It's so. I think what people crave because like it's very primitive too because people have always been talking around campfires since we were fucking monkey people. Like that's like part of being a human is talking. But I think that's kind of died out over the years of just like we bring it back around 9-to-5 jobs. We're stuck working all day. Get home, we're tired, and you're like, I don't really want to fucking.
I don't even want to
talk
cook.
to anybody. I don't want to cook.
I want to grab pizza and just fucking cash out.
And then when it's the weekend, you're like, I just want to fucking drink alcohol, and it's like
just make up for lost time when you're 1.5,
go to a loud
2
bar
days,
and just stand around.
Just
that was
consume
crazy. Did you see the
poison
game?
to make you feel silly.
Yeah. So I think
But we
conversations have, especially in the modern era, have kind of. Not a lot of people know how to have a conversation.
It's getting bad.
Yeah, like
it's getting bad.
You meet people.
People's social skills are just not what they used to be.
Oh yeah.
Have you noticed that, or is that just me?
The practicing is that's what I'm saying. It's like for
you
sure.
You get on like an elevator with someone, people act all weird, and they like you can tell it's like, hey, dude, like people are so awkward now. I feel like, and everyone is so just like content with residing in this level of awkwardness, like societally. I feel like. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Everyone's just so like in their own.
We're all kind of isolated too.
Yeah, which is crazy because we've never been so connected.
Yeah.
Like we've never had the means to be so connected, but we're not had the opposite effect and isolated us more because like we were talking, we don't have like a shared culture anymore.
Yeah, culture's been split up a lot. Now you just have, but people are able to find a lot more people easily that like the same shit that you do. Like you could Google anything and find a forum for it. But that also brings together crazy motherfuckers. People who, I don't know, like to fucking
shoot up a school or
that kind of shit. Or like fuck horses, There's a fucking group of guys that meet up and like we're going to the farm, They just do shit like that. So, and you're right, I miss when there was like, oh, here's the big movie coming in. Like during the I would say that
you go to the movie theater. Going to the movie theater was like a thing. It was a great experience. Like huge part of my childhood, my upbringing. Going to the movies was also always just I don't know. It had this like kind of allure to it. And you go and there's 20 12, 15 movies, and everybody's kind of seeing whatever's out at the time. It's not like you have 15 different streaming apps and just loads of content and like.
Oh yeah, like Netflix dropping a whole season. Like I like when they play a new episode every week.
Yeah,
like I like the anticipation.
Well, yeah, because then people like you think of a show like Lost or like Survivor, American Idol, like these things. People they would come to work talk about it. Dude, look, that brought people together. Yeah. Now it's just everyone is so just isolated and there's so many different pillars.
Music too, like what? What was the last like big like bop
anthem?
There's no anthems anymore at all. No.
What was the last like
good song?
Just everyone knew
there are
it.
Good music,
the song. Like I'm thinking, like an example would be like Chainsmokers 2016, or like Broccoli, or Caroline, the rap song. Like those are all examples of like.
Yeah, there was like always like a cultural movement. Like when think about when grunge came out, there was like Nirvana,
Sicko Mode, and Mo Bamba are the last that are coming to my head.
Yeah. I think that emo rap was going heavy there for a second. Like it
was a quick second though.
It was gone. It was
with X and like.
Yeah,
it was in and out. Ski Mask.
No, I'm thinking of the white guy, skinny. No, Mac Miller's I guess part of.
Skies or whatever.
No, the cringy guy. He was dating Megan Fox. What's his name?
Oh, MGK.
MGK. He was like the last. But I know there's a lot of things that sucked. I think he did a good job bringing in that genre. Like kind of popular because a lot of things were popping around that. Hey, brother.
Howdy.
Podcasting over here, talking shit.
Yeah, that's why I closed my door. I didn't want to interrupt.
What you have anything you want to say to the zero?
If you could say anything to the world, what would your message be?
What would my message be?
Yeah, give us a good quote or something.
I don't know, man.
If you're about to die, if you had a fucking microphone.
If someone asked me that question, if I was in your shoes right now, I'd be a mute.
All right, how about this? How about this? I'm just gonna run through a few topics and questions. You give me a quick, off the top of your head response.
Okay, all right. I'm not very opinionated.
Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Who'd you vote for president?
For president? Trump twice.
What are some of the ones we get in the Uber and say? We'll just
abortion.
Be like,
abortion.
We'll just keep
on abortion. I'm just. Yeah, we would have to just. What do you think about eating ass?
Eating ass?
Yeah. Oh yeah. What do you think about eating? That's a good one.
I'll try anything once.
Okay. Oh, you haven't ate butt yet? Or been around?
How do you feel about it? Because poop really grosses you out.
I'm not a fan. If I'm really drunk, I might stay in the neighborhood. The pussy's right there. I don't see the point of
that's the poop hole.
That's where you poop.
That's where the poop
out.
That's fair.
And usually butts are dirty. Like I know, I clean my like.
Are you a fold or a ball?
I'm a fold, bro.
Wiper guy.
See, most people will crumble up into a ball, and those are just dirty asses around town. Everyone's got shit butts.
So I have a hybrid kind of technique that I employ. It just depends on how nasty the shit is.
One nice fold and get a nice.
Yeah, but what if you have like a real nasty shit? Like I feel like a fold's not going to get. So if you think about
the walls, I go around.
Well, think about kind of around. Well, think about getting like, a little bit of a ball, but still wrapping at the end. So you have like a ball with flat surface area to get the big stuff.
Oh, the first wipe.
The first few, get 3 wipes. Out. Scrape like almost like you think about like a
I like
shovel.
to do 3 or 5 good wipes and then I get the wet wipe in.
And then you fold, and then you go to the fold after that, and then you fine tune.
I feel like the ball, you're getting shit smeared around the walls and up the ass
well,
cheek.
if you just have the ball, but you got to do like a little bit of a ball. Wrap the flat surface. So you have flat surface.
You're mixing both.
That's why I said I have a hybrid technique.
Oh, wow.
The first few wipes, you get the ball and you wrap it at the end.
You're an innovator.
So it's like a ball with a flat surface. And so you
next time you shit, bring me in there. I want to see what the fuck
I'll give you a little crash course.
Yeah, I've never seen that fucking.
I used to video my shits and send them to Brady, but he blocked me on Snapchat.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I used to stand up and wipe my ass until I was like 11, and I was like, this ain't a gig, because your ass cheeks squeeze
this
up.
ain't in a gig.
I heard a good question the other day was, when you shower, do you wash your legs?
Yes.
Do you scrub your legs?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you not do that?
Knees below?
Dude,
a
that's
lot of people don't. They might hit like their thigh right
It's
here.
like a
I
manly
get
thing
those.
to do. Like, man, I just let the water run down past my knees. I'm working. I'm a tough
7-in-1,
Get soapy
7-in-1
water.
soap.
You'll get it done. Just let it wash down. Like, but think about your toes. Like, do you not get fungus and shit in there? Like, I used to get athlete's foot when I didn't wash my like.
I feel like the water cleans my feet pretty well.
It probably does technically, but you gotta think like all the fucking shit that was on this part of your body, it's just caked now. all over
Also,
your
I don't like
leg
putting
hair.
soap
Yeah.
on my feet because I feel like I'm gonna slip. I'm terrified of dying in the shower.
You got a lot of fears, don't you?
I'm a scared little boy.
Sex in the shower.
Oh, poor mama.
Oh,
But I like
be
the-
all right. You'll make it. Don't
I
worry.
feel like this shit gets dirty, and I want to just get
Why
in the
don't you have
hair.
any leg hair?
I do got leg
You
hair.
got a little
Yeah,
soft.
shiny ass
you got a
because
little-
he scrubs them. That's why it's
Yeah,
so
they're
shiny.
nice and clean.
you got like soft little pussy hairs. I got like
Little
fucking-
pussy hair. I'm actually one of the hairiest in my family. They look at me like a freak. You see my dad. He has
Your dad
and no hair.
really.
But he's
That
weird.
surprises
Yeah, he
me.
has
Yeah,
like
he
tons of
seems
chest
like
hair.
got the burly bear.
He barely has armpit hair, nothing. He's fucking.
You're gonna be just like your. I don't know. Maybe a little bit.
I'm definitely gonna be in that area. I mean, I kind of act like I'm in. A lot of what he says and how he says, like his cadence of how he says shit. I think.
Dude,
I mean-
I think I'm turning into my dad.
I mean, don't we all? I mean, at some point.
Kind of how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
I'm basically a sugar-free version of my dad.
Yeah.
That's how I explain it to people when they because the first few times I meet someone, some people are just not gonna like me.
You
They're
get, you get that vibe.
I have kind of a yeah, I don't know. I feel like the people that like me really like me, and the people that don't.
But that's what you want. Go
That's-
ahead and
yeah,
cut out
I
the
just want to
fucks.
be. I just
Well,
value authenticity, and so I don't
Yeah.
want to.
Me
Like,
too.
let's skip all the preliminary bullshit.
Mhm.
Let's skip all the foreplay and the oh yeah, that's so nice.
Why am I gonna sell myself to like
I'm not gonna act any different.
small talk and just fucking have tons of acquaintances that you don't even have a
Right.
deep conversation with? They're just kind of there to be there. Like,
Right.
I don't know. It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like if you actually dig a little bit on anybody, they'll start talking. It's just some people got a big wall up is all. You just gotta.
That's what we were talking about earlier. Social skills or.
But the thing is, you don't have time to sit there and do a podcast with every fucking buddy. Like, I swear, if I had someone right here, just some random, I could probably sit here and just interview them till I know everything about them.
Right.
And hearing like crazy stories and shit. But it's kind of hard when you're out and about, especially at work. You got to work. You get a couple conversations every now and then when you go out to the bars or go out and do shit, it's quick little banter, cha cha. You're not really diving deep with
that's
with a lot of people, for the most part, except for like your good friends, like just hanging out, which is
I definitely see what you're saying about if we were filming this while we were like pre-gaming and getting a few drinks going and like fucking just goofing around like we do, that would be.
Oh yeah, we get
Yeah.
shit. I think right now we just feel like we're on stage and we're kind of having but we'll get used to it. Just kind of play it in the background and then just start talking, because that's the way. We just have to plan when we do hang out. Like we come a little early, make sure to chill, get a drink, fucking smoke a little bit before. Have some leeway time till the actual.
And maybe just kind of a general shell of a direction of what, like a few things we kind of want to touch on throughout the.
Yeah,
and figure out how to make.
I think that's a good idea, especially if we're gonna be
like not an itinerary, just kind of
some shit we want to talk about.
Right, just some things we want to make sure we cover.
Because it's different when you have a guest every podcast.
Right.
So like,
because then you can just kind of let them. Have
yeah,
their
you got a
reins
new
little bit.
mind. You get to dissect
Right.
and talk about. They get to talk about their interests. But if it's just me and you every time hanging out, it's gonna. I mean, I don't mind repeating myself and doing the same conversations, because when you go back on a conversation, you find other new trails to talk about.
I feel like me and you have covered a lot, just from the years of knowing each other. We're gonna feel like we're kind of circling back. We got to remember that these people, unless it's been beaten to death on other platforms, a lot of these people haven't heard some of the shit we talk about that we've already, so.
Well, I think it's fine to go back on the same, because we'll naturally fill feel like, oh, we already discussed that, and then we'll talk about something else.
And inevitably, one of our good old arguments will break out, and they'll get a kick out of that.
Oh yeah.
You remember those?
Oh, I remember we'd fight about religion a lot. We'd have some big ass religion debate.
With all kind of shit, but I don't know. I feel like we always kind of kept it. It within that conversation, and then just did a good job.
We've slowly found an agreement, because I was right before all the woke shit popped off.
You were that little punk,
I was a little liberal. I had some liberal ideas, and you were a classic right wing.
Yeah,
classic. And when this wokeism started happening and everything got super polarized, we both found ourselves like in the center, like, hey, we
just want to be left alone.
This is a little ridiculous. Like, you're not a Nazi and I'm not Antifa. I just want to we could just talk a little.
Yeah.
We found a lot of agreements, and I think that's what's going on. There's like a central, that's where most people are.
Right.
And we're all just eating it up, all the clickbait from both sides, keeping them alive. That's really what's going on.
Clickbait culture is like terrible, but it's like like you said, it's just kind of the dominant voice right now. And
I mean, I do it every day. You do it every day too. There's just shit that I like to watch. That's just.
I feel like there's no way to see the idiots. The only choice you have in the matter is what you consume. You don't have. There's no like stopping the kind of.
I'm starting to do this thing now when I'm on social media, especially on Facebook. They have this option. They should have this on everyone, like where you click an X at the top and it caters to your feed of like things you don't want to see. Because I was on my Facebook and I'm like, I'm so annoyed. Why am I on Facebook? I was just like, I hate. It's all like
boomer shit.
It's like boomer memes, or it's filled with like people still stuck in high school.
Yeah,
like it's like the people.
Yeah,
everybody on there from my high school is like people who are just like. I feel like they're still living in that high school kind of like it's very weird. Yeah,
and that is true. I wonder
why
that is.
I feel like the frequency's like duller there. It's like a lot more. I don't want to say dumb to sound like a douche.
Simple.
It's very simple and just like there's like a low frequency.
Yeah,
like it's not.
It's like right.
But I'll go to like Twitter or like TikTok and get some zings and like some like, whoa, what the fuck is that? Oh, I never thought about it like that. That's crazy.
Some good, just discord between like in a thread or something.
Yeah, but Instagram is like turned into like damn porn.
Instagram, has I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but it's turned into just porn
I don't
and
even
just reels. That
I can't go on the Explorer page. It's just like
it'll just ruin your day.
It's just like damn, I'm just trying to wake up and enjoy my coffee. If I could show me tits and ass right off the bat.
Yeah, 9 a.m.
But it's not even just tits and ass. It's a girl like with her fucking ass right in the camera, shaking. Yeah. And then her quote's like, "Be the best version of you today." And it's like, what the fuck?
Big thing about Instagram. One of the things on Instagram that I fucking hate is these. It's called Quotes by Christy. Let me pull it up just so you know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Girls who repost these little.
Girls love posting some quotes, like how you should.
It's so
like a little slideshow they
dude.
found.
I fucking yak every time. Oh yeah, and those little virtue signal. Hold on,
It's almost a trend to like for girls and guys just to show.
Quotes by Christy. You know these little fucking.
Oh yeah, I see that every day. That's where they come from.
These little. It's like one page, and I went and looked at my followers in common. I have 52. Every last one of them is a female.
That's where those come from.
Every single one, yeah. And look at if I just give a quick scroll through the little Rolodex, they're all kind of the same brand of just little shiny little basic filter kind of.
Yeah.
But they're.
No, I know what you mean. That's crazy. I didn't
shit sucks, and I hate it. I mean, this is the dumbest shit.
Well, I remember when
it's okay to miss people and still not want them back in your life.
Yeah, just simple shit.
Yeah, but they think it's like so abstract.
Deep. Yeah.
And it's just kind of like a word salad way of saying nothing most of the time.
What do you think they're trying to do? Like show that they're intelligent, or they're trying to like show their emotions? Probably trying to show how they feel about something.
Maybe just share, that, and just like, let me share this with you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find like an exceptionally like Stupid one.
I do like the memes.
This is the Be Kind Brigade. You can't see people's mental health. Be kind always. Like, yeah, we fucking know. Like, yo, thank you for letting us know you care about people's mental health.
Well, the whole black box thing when the Black Lives Movement came.
That was the most ridiculous. I mean,
whoa. I mean, I've never seen so many people virtue signal. Like, look, there's probably some people that really meant it at the beginning, but there were tons of people on there that were just so, like, I know that person. I'm like, you're doing this specifically to
just
jump
fit
on
in
this trend. And now you're posting some little slideshow you found.
Yeah.
And, like, you're somehow, you know every detail about all that. I don't know. Just like,
right.
That only, to me, that it increased racism a lot. That really made that kick past. Like I feel like it got
stirred the pot.
Stirred it up big time. It's just like
the pot was settling.
Look, if
in
you're
2012, 2013.
rational human, obviously racism's stupid as fuck.
Yeah.
No one's actually fucking segregating. Like, I love talking to any kind of race. If I get I don't care. Like, it's like if you're cool, you're cool.
Right.
Like, it's so basic to me. I just don't. It's they're just. I don't know.
They want to. I feel like they want to keep it alive. Back to what we were talking about earlier. They want to keep it around to distract people, argue, divide people.
Well, it gets it's
working.
I mean, you want to see a video where someone's fucking trying to be over the top, or either like you see someone really racist, or you see someone complaining like, oh, we should start segregating the study halls at school. Like, have you seen videos of that?
What?
Like, there'd be like a black girl freaking out, like, this is our space.
Oh yeah,
you need to move.
Oh, like a black only space type
yeah,
deal.
like
or
crap like that. Like, I don't know, just
right.
weird viral videos like that are so common now. Like, people always trying to be a fucking a goddamn activist. Everyone's trying to be like, that wasn't a thing 20 years ago.
No.
Like, if you're like our age in your 20s or like in high school, you didn't give a fuck about the government or what the fuck what was going on. You just want to have fun, talk some shit. You see that movie? Well, I was like, you hear this song, like, be a person, like, actually have a personality.
Yeah.
Now it's like, look at my fucking labels and everything that I stand for. Like, this
my
is
pronouns, like all this.
Or just like, it's all about
Ukraine flag and just whatever the fear porn of the day is.
Yeah, always got a statement about something.
Right.
But that's just the internet. I think it's just we're so on top of what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, but like you said earlier, it's just like it's not gonna go away. So like, what are we gonna do?
I don't know. What
That's why I was so happy to see, like, you know, some level of pushback in the cultural war that we're in, because up to this point we hadn't really seen it. It was looking like we were fucked for a minute.
Oh, you thought the
I was like, who's gonna be able to rise above it? I mean, if they're able to control like education, media, and, you know, who's gonna be able to? How are we gonna break out of this?
We were talking about that not long ago. You said, what if this wokeism kind of thing started like 20 years ago? They would have taken over. But I think now that we live with, like, I really think podcasting saved it, and like just like memes on the internet and like quick, like.
I wouldn't say it's saved yet. I wouldn't.
It's not saved, but I'm saying
right.
that to hear a different voice and get a rational perspective on both sides and develop your own opinion. But like, think about, like, if there was no kind of dialogue going on like a couple years ago, that shit would have swamped over everything.
Oh my god. Dude.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine where we'd be now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just the internet is just, it's a lot of positive and negatives. A lot of things are just happen. I'm gonna see there's gonna be like a movement, I bet, of people just wanting to be straight up primal. They were like, all right, I'm done. I'm getting a flip phone. No more social media. It's like gonna have their own music. Right. It's gonna be like a weird like movement. That's
like an ebb and a flow back to this kind of
simpleness.
I think, I definitely think that's the case. I think in a form of that is like this like kind of carnivore trend. That's this carnivore fitness trend. I think that's kind of like the newest thing that's starting to kick up.
It would have to be some kind of, I feel like music's like the biggest cultural shifts that change society.
Well,
but the thing is, there's no. It's
so watered down now.
It's all watered down.
But yeah, that's I would argue that was kind of the point of music, is like, I'll play sounds that people think are pleasant, but really it's like, let's break down the barriers that are set in place previously, and let's do something people haven't heard before, something revolutionary. That's kind of
because music's like
that's the whole purpose.
soul
That's why
of it.
every decade kind of has a staple
Genre.
form of music. Yeah, a genre.
Because when you look at the '60s, they were smoking weed and started doing psychedelics.
Oh, they were doing
'70s.
no, they were blowing down, bro.
Yeah,
And it was like pure cut. They were blowing down.
I thought the '80s. Was
And
more
you
the
look,
cocaine
that's
era.
that's when dancing really started, because before that, dancing, Grease was like the exception. Grease was like crazy dancing and like, but before that, dancing was very like, that's, and then Elvis got up there.
The
and
sound of culture.
He's doing all,
He
and
changed the game in
and,
the '50s. Yeah,
right. And then in the '60s, everyone's doing cocaine. Muscle cars started coming out.
that was like '80s. I thought were more like cocaine era.
Cocaine
I
was
thought
in
it was
the
like
60s.
psychedelics and like.
I mean that too. You had like the Mansons, and I mean it was just the first age where you saw.
But like Woodstock, like people like chill out, listen to the Beatles, let's play some Beach Boys, and then when you got to the '80s, it's more like, we got some hair metal bands. People like
the
Rockstar, going nuts.
The '70s was like the hippie peace, love, happiness kind of thing, and the '60s too. There were factions of that, but '60s music was kind of, I don't know.
I feel like they took some shrooms back in then. Like they play like some like groovy little like
right
kind of jam band
right.
shit is what I kind of figure or think about.
But I definitely know that cocaine was really big in the '60s.
I think it really hit strong in the '80s.
But when it started, when cocaine like started becoming part of like the cultural norm, that's when dancing started kind of evolving.
Yeah.
And you look at the '70s, and that was like just the
But
decade
even like
of
political
dance.
thought is connected to all this stuff too. Like it's like music, the way you dress, like styles that could get huge in like the market.
Right.
It all comes from music, really.
Yeah.
And then when you look at the '90s, grunge popped in. Everyone started getting baggy jeans, growing their hair out,
carpenter
dressing.
shorts.
Yeah, and then you get the early 2000s when you start getting this like suburbia world. You start getting like alternative kind of pop punk music coming out during that era, like Blink-182 style.
And you got
that's more like Adderall and like I don't know. It's like that's the
rock
drug.
and
Because the '90s was like heroin. It was like I'm sad. I'm in Seattle. You know. Then it started getting a little more upbeat shit. Pop music started really popping off,
right?
And then you get rap in the '90s too, hip hop and stuff.
Yep.
Became about partying, like who's the top dog kind of shit.
Now I don't know what we're doing.
Now it's like
some people like Taylor Swift. Basically now it's you either like Taylor Swift or you don't. That's it. That's the levels that we
I think it's a lot of fucking SSRIs and like ADHD, Adderall,
dude,
and
it's
fucking that's the drugs now. Or like emo rap, which is interesting, was like the last big genre I can like think of. They were doing like what's the drink? The
lean.
purple. They were drinking lean. They were always like on pills. That was part of the music. Like it was like super slow.
Yeah.
Like I'm so sad and like it's like that it colors up culture, music.
Right.
It's usually linked to a drug. It's usually linked to some kind of political stance sometimes, or just your swag, just how they carry themselves. Like, I think Post Malone was like part of that emo rap kind of style.
Yeah.
Get tattoos on your face, act in a certain way.
That's on the way out, I think.
That's done.
I think that's trickling off.
Oh yeah, that's not
like you idiot. You got all these tattoos, and now you just look ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know.
There's a lot of guys who fucking did that too. Which
Oh,
is
they
sad.
look so dumb with the sleeves and the fucking the trees and the.
You're really
if you get a trendy tattoo, you're a fucking moron. Because like how can you not see that coming?
Yeah.
Like you think like monarch butterfly, like on a girl, like the back of their arm.
Oh yeah.
That is like such a trendy. You might as well just got the little chevron pattern, fucking tattooed on your
You
arm.
just got a Burger King sign on your forehead. You're just fucking. Yeah, they just fell
No,
for it.
I meant chevron, like the pattern on the clothing. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
It just you gotta know
I
that like trendy tattoos
Yeah.
that's just a bad idea from the jump.
Mm-hmm. There's always those too. I mean, I'm
The Samoan the Samoan tattoos. That was a trendy thing for a while.
the what was it? The tribal tattoos.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the forest. Like
The God is greater than the ups and downs.
I
Across
remember
the side of your tit right
that
there.
was like 2011, 2012. Was like the
turn
cross right here, like cross on your side, has some kind of quote.
Carpe
or
diem
something.
right here on your
it's like,
chest.
You think you're being hard and cool, but we
in
see
5
through it.
years, everyone's just gonna think you're an idiot.
I mean, yeah, you're just copying. you're not being anything. You're not being a real. That's the thing. Everyone's copying identities. Everyone's not truly being themselves. They're just looking at other entities from the media and they're just clogging it up. And like, this is how I'm gonna act. This is who I'm gonna be. I'm this guy. Like I always thought, like when I was in high school, you had like the country crew, you had the emos, you had the band geeks, you had the preps, and I was like, I would look at the country. Like I would have friends that I grew up with and weren't really country, but they did stuff that was. But in high school, they really just dug into being, I'm a cunt. Here's my truck. I go mud. I do. They really just. It's like they're almost like an emo kid to me. Like you just found a different little clique where you completely swole your whole identity of just committing to this. You only do these activities. These are what you. This is my opinion on this. Like you're just you're stuck in a little box that you created for yourself. You're not like a real fucking human that has like, I don't know. There's tons of cool.
You sound very pop punk.
I'm talking about any group, man. It's
I know.
But like, no, there's cool people in every group. I'm not saying like all country people. Like, that's not like what I'm saying.
No, I know.
I'm just saying like anybody can like fall into like a category of like an archetype of a person that we agreed upon. And I think you have a lot less people actually like being like something different, like a new personality, I guess.
Yeah. You ever see those people with tattoos that you can just tell they went on $20 day, where they're like, $20 tattoo day, you know how tattoo parlors do that, and they just got a bunch of random bullshit. They'll have like a salt shaker on their ankle and like an ice cream cone right here, and they're like this big.
Some people just don't give a fuck.
That is the most ridiculous looking shit to me.
My brother's like that. One of the people they don't give a fuck, man. I don't really care what people.
Cody's tattoos look good. It's not that tattoos don't work for some people, but I feel like there was just this huge cultural wave of them. Like Cody's tattoos, I think look good. I've seen plenty of people where their tattoos fit them
it's like
well.
Clothes, It's like you got a cool style how you wear your clothes, or like, oh wow, you're really just wearing.
Like at Neighbors, Kristen, her tattoos I think fit her pretty well. I think those look good,
Yeah.
She doesn't have a fucking ice cream cone on her elbow or something stupid like that.
Does that bother you when you see like a random?
Just when there's so few and far between, you can tell they're just going to get these like little, like they have an umbrella on their wrist, like
It's like randomly meaningless stuff.
Yeah, it's hard for you to respect them if they have like something goofy. Like if they're gonna have like an opinion about something, you're like, look, you got SpongeBob on your calf. Like it's hard for me to fucking take you seriously.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It'd be like if someone was missing teeth.
Oh yeah. Like if you're just missing a tooth.
Yeah,
you could be the smartest dude in the room. If you're missing your front tooth, like
nobody's listening to shit.
I don't care what the fuck you have to say.
I could be like, sit
go
your
get some
dumbass
teeth. He's like citing Noam Chomsky, like over there, fucking like just being really smart. You're like, dude, where's your teeth? Well, even when it's like not brushed well, he's like gook and black.
Oh
shit.
Yeah, brown shit.
Yeah, you're like, you don't get to talk
in 3 years.
You don't get to talk.
Yeah,
go brush your teeth, and then we'll see.
Yeah,
Brady, I think it's because you don't have the laptop plugged in, brother.
Oh shit, I am. Oh yeah, I'm not even charging it. Do you want to call it? I gotta get going. All right, guys.
Well,
Thanks for joining in.
Outro.
We'll see you next week.
We got a good hour in. That ain't bad right now.